So I'm super hot and sweaty, but I have arrived at where I'm going to be for the next couple of days. And this place is just amazing. I think, from what I can see, I'm the only person staying here. Baan Maka Nature Reserve, Nature Lodge. So beautiful. Sorry, I'm sweating a lot. I don't know if that's the beers coming out or just the fact that it's a hot place, but I got here an hour ago. That's a long story, I'll tell you that later. So I've just been sitting in the restaurant because it's been chucking down the rain because it is the rainy season in Thailand. But there's this such cool restaurant here where there's bird feeding nearby. You can just sit and have a few beers. So I got here, I'm on holiday. Take the edge off. I just had a couple of beers while I'm waiting it to stop raining, which was perfect. And apparently there's a blue-winged pitta nesting here, which is one of my main birds I wanted to see, but I wasn't sure I was going to. And they're going to take me there and have a look at it, apparently. But yeah, look at this place. You can sit here, have beers. I'm going to try the food tonight. There's a feeder over there. And the most important thing, more important than any of this, is the two girls that are here, just so kind and nice. I got out of my taxi kind of stressed. The guy was losing it. It was a 3.5 hour ride from Bangkok. We are in the middle of nowhere, but I came here kind of stressed and they just were so kind. That's all I ask of anybody, be kind. Anyway, on my way over to England in August earlier this year, I had planned to do a few days of photography in Thailand. So I arrived in Thailand on the Saturday night. I had quite a big night in Thailand as it was the first night of my holiday, then up super early, and I'd planned to use an app like Uber to get to the national park, which is pretty far from Bangkok, and the only way you can get there really is to be driven. Now, as I came out of my hotel, this taxi driver basically accosted me and forced me into his car. And I kept saying, it's in the middle of nowhere, it's very far, I'd rather just organise it myself. But he said, no. He was kind of charming initially. Anyway, so I thought, okay, well, we'll get the taxi, I'll just sleep in the back of the car. He didn't speak any English, he didn't know where it was, but I showed him on the map. He was obviously happy for my business, so he said yes. Long story short, so it's a long drive, and even though trying to sleep in the back of the car, I couldn't, but we eventually got there. But twice en route, he stopped at a petrol station. I thought he was filling his tank up, but then we stopped at a petrol station an hour later, and then when we were really in the middle of nowhere and he didn't know where we were going, he angrily showed me that his petrol gauge was now below zero, and I knew we were in the middle of nowhere. There were going to be no petrol stations anywhere near. He got more aggressive, angry and angrier. We eventually arrived at Baan Maka Nature Lodge, and I paid him way more money than we'd originally agreed, but I was just happy to get rid of him. You know, I kept telling him, mate, this is not my fault. You wanted me in the taxi. I told you it was far away in the middle of nowhere. I don't speak Thai. But as I said, the girls at the lodge were so kind. I got out, I was pretty stressed, and they were so kind. I sat down, had a few beers as I was waiting for the rain to pass, and I quickly forgot about the taxi driver. I'm always very respectful when I visit third world countries, and I'm always happy to pay fair prices and tip people. But this guy was just aggressive. What can you do? As it was raining, I stayed in the restaurant and I decided to have lunch. So I had 2 Thai dishes, which are absolutely delicious, and I asked the girls if they could organise a hide for me. Now, there's lots of hides around this national park, and they very quickly said, we can take you there in half an hour. So I thought, perfect. So I had researched this hide prior to me arriving on eBird to see what birds were around. So anyway, a driver kindly took me there, and I arranged for him to pick me up again 2 hours later. And although I didn't get all the species that I want, a lot of fabulous birds did come in, and I got a lot of great photo opportunities, despite the fact that after about an hour, it started raining heavily and it got so dark that photography was almost impossible. Every shot I was taking, even with 1/200th of a second shutter speed, it was at least 25,000 ISO. So it wasn't ideal for photography, but You're seeing all these amazing birds, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I thoroughly recommend, if you go to this area, that you rent a hide for a few hours. I think in the winter time, they're a lot more busy and you might need to pre-book. But because summer is the off season, it was just me and I could literally just organize it at the last minute.
So this place is absolutely mad. I've been here 15 minutes. I thought I'd have to get time to set up, get my vlogging camera out, get my regular camera out. I don't have a tripod, I'm using my sort of vlogging monopod thing. But it's doing a job. It means I just don't have to hold the camera the whole time. But this place is so busy, so many amazing birds. They always say don't come in the summer season and the rainy season, but we had a downpour earlier today and it seems to be already dry, but there's so much activity. It's just amazing. I've got 2.5 hours here. I forgot to bring a memory card, of course. I forgot to bring a spare battery, of course. But I've got a full memory card and a full battery, so I'm hoping I'm going to be okay. This is just perfect. It's amazing. Anyway, I'm going to get back to it. So far, I've seen great species. I've seen greater laughing thrush, racket-tailed tree pea, yellow nape. What else have I seen? White something laughing thrush. So many cool birds, but I'm hoping to get some more. This is just so fantastic. I love it. I'm so happy. Yes. It's absolutely mad. I don't know where to look. There are so many birds. And they say don't come in the rainy season. It's ridiculous. I can't keep up. Some baubles just come in. And usually baubles are average sized birds, but they look small in comparison to all the other birds that are around. I wanted to get some new species because I'm having I've got about 10 species so far, but it's just amazing. Hot and humid, but I'm used to that being from Okinawa. So there's some red jungle fowl coming in, mostly females. Lots of laughing thrushes. Okay. So I don't think you can see me. It is so dark now. It's not raining, but it's incredibly dark. So I'm at ISO 25,000 or something, almost all the shots. So I don't know if I'm going to get any really good shots today. And also the background's not great, but I want to make a video about that. Don't just always concentrate on the background. I know I'm a big one for saying you've got to get the background, and that's how I usually shoot. But it also means that I ignore a lot of really sharp shots of nice birds just because the background's not right, and that's silly. Especially like today, I'm seeing all these amazing species close up. I'm sure I've got some sharp shots, but just to bin them all because the background's not right, that would be stupid. Can you even see me? I'm waving now. Anyway, yeah, I can keep hearing thunder. I hope it doesn't start thundering, although it's pretty well concealed here. It's hot, but there's a tin roof and it seems to be nailed down, so it's pretty sure. I don't think many animals are going to get into here, and not many snakes and stuff, so it's pretty concealed, but it'd be nice to get some new species. So it's so dark now, like so dark. It's been dark for about an hour. No new species have come in. I'm not being picked up for another hour. I wish I'd organised for him to come a bit earlier. So it's just got darker. This is not weather for photography, really. It's now chucking it down. I will say I'm completely protected from the rain here.